The pantomime we are going to show you now is called The Mask Maker. It has been created in Paris also in 1959, but it has been recreated specially for this production. The Mask Maker for me has different meanings. I will not tell you the story because you will see it in a few minutes. But for me, the Mask Maker is the man who represents humanity with all the faces humanity can possess. Many people hide behind masks. Others use masks to recreate symbols of life. I wanted to do both, but the last mask will reveal man in its only and real moment of truth.
Hello, everybody. I'm Skip Elsheimer. Welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime Streaming Show. Since there was no narration, for the most part, for Massmaker, I didn't get a cue that they were wrapping up. The music just kind of stopped. So anyways, that was Marcel Marceau. And if you caught the beginning of it, he talked. And he kind of explained what he did. And what's interesting is he actually did a series of films for Encyclopedia Britannica where he recreated some of his pantomimes, a wide variety of different ones. I think there's like 10 or so. So we've been showing some every once in a while. All right, so yesterday we watched Vision, the news magazine format propaganda film by the United States Information Agency. And today we're going to watch The Vision, which is radically different. Enjoy.
With all the changes in the world, it's good to know that one thing remains rock solid. You can always count on God to stay the same. Yesterday, today, and forever.
Did I hear the word God?
Right. I'm praising God for his steadfast permanence in the midst of change.
That's interesting. I just had a vision of God this morning.
You did? What did he say?
The message was, don't box me in. There's more to me than you've ever dreamed.
He said that?
She sure did.
That ended too quickly. Sorry. I'm chewing on carrots. Yeah. That was from the North Carolina Methodist Library. And it was super short. So this next film is also animated, and I've shown it, but it was like in 2020. So many of you weren't around. And I love this film. It's very entertaining, and it's kind of weird. It is. It's so nice to have a wolf around the house. Enjoy.
Once upon a time, there was an old man. Oh, am I old? Who lived alone with his 3 old pets. There was his dog, Peppy, who was very old. Oh, am I very old? There was his cat, Ginger, who was very, very old. Ow! then there was Lightning, his tropical fish, who was so old that she could barely swim and preferred to float. One day, the old man called his 3 pets together and said to them, in an old way, "The trouble, my friends, is that we are so old."
We're very old.
I know that. Listen up. What we need is a charming companion. Someone to take care of us and pep us up. All in favor? Snore. Opposed? The snorers have it. I'll put an ad in the Soho News. Soho people will know what we're looking for. And so the advertisement appeared in the paper. The very next morning, a furry stranger knocked on the old man's door. Knock, knock. Who's there? Cuthbert. Cuthbert who? Cuthbert Q. Devine. Did you advertise for a charming companion, old man? Yes, I did. Look no further. Oh, good. My eyes are so old that they get tired when I look further. I am the very one you have been searching for. Many people think that I am a wolf. That, of course, is nonsense. Utter nonsense. Of course. As a matter of fact, I happen to be a dog. Yes, a German Shepherd, to be exact. Is that a fact? But I was in Switzerland during the war. And because the old man's eyesight was not what it used to be, and because he was completely dazzled by Cuthbert Q. Devine's charming personality, he did not see him for what he really was, a wolf. This is the German Shepherd out here at the Indianapolis Speedway for the beginning of the race. Here they come down round the far turn. It looks like a perfect start. The starter says go. The green flag waves, and there they go. It's car number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack. Jack, hit me again, dealer. Cuthbert had not been on the job 24 hours before the old man and his 3 pets wondered how they had ever managed without him. No, John. It's best that we part, John. You have another wife, and I have another husband. Oh. And he has another wife, and she has another husband. It isn't the simplest sort of arrangement, is it? He is amazing. He cooks, he cleans, he pays the bills. He's a whiz. Oh, look, this thing smells like a guitar. A blink, a blink, a blink. I'll rub your belly in linseed oil, wrap your head in aluminum foil, almond left in a do-si-do, and I grab your barber by the toe. Oh, he made me dance. I don't feel so old anymore. I was really cutting a rug. Cuthbert had a heart of gold. All he wanted to do was to make the old man and his 3 pets happy. He took me for a walk. I hated it, but I don't feel so old anymore either. Whee! Well, now, I think I'll just dust this wheel here and Oh, look! It spins. It's like a game show. Welcome to Rocket to Oblivion, where anybody can win anything and probably won't. Our first contestant is a gentleman from Almanesset, New Jersey. Answer this question, sir, and you'll be the winner of a proud thing. If a hen and a half could lay an egg and a half in a day and a half, how many pancakes would it take to shingle a doghouse? I'm sorry, you're wrong. Now, that was some discovery. The old man and his pets had long forgotten that their house was, in actuality, a houseboat. Later on, they took many cruises around the whole city. But it was all too good to last. Late one afternoon, just after Cuthbert had tucked the old man into his deck chair and handed him his paper, the old man read a terrible thing right on page 1. Cuthbert Q. Devine, wanted for rip-offs. Inside the paper, the story continued. The notorious Cuthbert the Ripper is being sought for a series of rip-offs. Anyone spotting him should use extreme caution because, after all, he is a wolf. A wolf? Oh! The old man was outraged, and he was pretty mad, too.
It's true, it's true. I'm so ashamed. Oh, woe is me. I'm no good at all. But I can't help it. I never had a chance. I always wanted to be good, but everybody expected me to be bad because I'm a wolf.
The old man could not get over it. He was hurt and frightened. How did it happen?
I joined a motorcycle club called the War Wolves and finally became their president.
But why you?
I was the only one who had a motorcycle. You know, we terrorized schools. Ow, pow, pow, pow. And we used to go to cities and scare everybody in the cities. Rat-a-tat, rat-tat, rat-tat. And sometimes we'd go to senior citizens' homes and we'd play jokes on them. We'd tell them we knew how old they were. Yeah. They hated it. Who cared? We were wolves. We were young. We were wonderful.
Before the old man could say another word, Cuthbert Q. Devine, alias Cuthbert the Ripper, fainted dead away.
You've got a very sick wolf on your hands with a bad attack of nerves. He'll have to stay in bed for months if he is ever to get well again. Have him take 2 of these and call me in the morning. Not too early.
Now the old man and his pets realized they had work to do.
I'll clean the kitchen. Well, I just cleaned the kitchen. Good, then it shouldn't take me long.
They had to cook meals. Guess what we're having tonight?
Not broiled jello, man.
Broiled jello. And they took care of their friend Cuthbert. Peppy forgot his aches and pains, and everyone said that Ginger was as frisky as a kitten again. Lightning did her share, too. She spent her days blowing beautiful bubbles to amuse Cuthbert. It seemed to soothe his frayed nerves. At last, one bright, sunny morning...
Hey, I have a feeling I'm gonna be okay today. Hey, sure, I feel great. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day.
So why don't you get up, Cuthbert?
Because I feel so ashamed of myself for all the rotten rip-offs I used to do. I don't want to go out and face anybody anymore because I'm in here and I got my...
Why don't you turn yourself in to the police, Cuthbert? And that's exactly what he did. In court, he was defended by lightning. And in conclusion, Your Honor, I would like to say that Cuthbert has been very misunderstood and should be given another chance. We really shouldn't judge wolves by their appearance. After all, one man's wolf can be another animal's human, or something like that.
Yes, well, I see, that's true. You have done so much for the old man and his pets, but, well, in fact, you've turned out to be a downright upstanding wolf. So, my verdict is, as pronounced here, on this day of the court, Cuthbert Q. Devine, you may go free. As long as you don't go back with the war wolves.
Cuthbert had no intention of going back to the war wolves. He went home with the old man and his 3 pets. And after he regained his health, they all had a little party on deck. They promised that they were going to help one another for the rest of their lives. As a matter of fact, all 5 of them are still living together in Arizona because the desert climate was better for Cuthbert's health.
I can only hope that when I'm very old, or very, very old, that Cuthbert will show up and give me, do my chores and make me feel young again. That is what I hope. All right, so how many of you had the book TA for Tots? TA, short for Transactional Analysis. This film addresses two concepts in TA for Tots. Cold pricklies and warm fuzzies. Hopefully this will give you some warm fuzzies. This film is beat to hell. Again, this was from the North Carolina Methodist Library, and somebody just shredded this thing. But it's still great nonetheless. And does it have a toe tapper?
Hi, Mr. Geary.
Morning, Johnny. I think I've got a letter for you. Let me see. Now, oh, this looks like a warm, fuzzy letter for your friends next door. Here's another. Oh, it's a happy one, huh? Oh, that's one for the Riveras, from their grouchy uncle. Bet that's a cold prickly.
Oh, nobody likes a cold prickly.
Yes, but sometimes they're better than nothing at all. Yes, here it is. That's a warm fuzzy.
Wow! Look at Grandma. Having a super swell time. Thinking of you, love, Grandma. Bye, Mr. Geary.
It's a warm fuzzy world, 'cause you're feeling good, the way you smile and say hello. It's a warm fuzzy world, 'cause you're nice so good, you can let your sunshine flow. Let it flow. It's a warm fuzzy world, no matter who you are, what you do or where you live. It's a warm fuzzy world, 'cause you got lots of friends and a whole lot of loving to give. A warm fuzzy world, it's a warm fuzzy world.
Good evening, my draggy-looking friend.
Oh, hi. Who are you?
I'm Horace. Horace, your friend. Judging from the droop of your stoop, I'm your salvation.
Oh, I'm all right. A little tired, though.
Your eyes are dull. Your hands shake. Your mouth has a funny downward curl. What you need is my guaranteed put life back into the spine cream.
No, welcoming warm fuzzy for my family, and I'll be my old self.
Warm fuzzy can't replace my chase away the blues powder or my love in a bottle.
Warm fuzzy will bring me right around. I'll be seeing you.
Wait. Come back, come here. Those warm fuzzies you talk about won't last forever. And you better have some of these on hand when those warm fuzzies of yours run out.
What do you mean? They'll never run out.
I've got it from a dependable source. You think that every time you give a warm fuzzy, there's always another to replace it? Once you give them away, that's it. Now, if you just try one of mine...
It's a lie.
See for yourself. You'll find out. How's that for a cold prickly, my friend? Those warm fuzzies won't last forever.
Hi, lover. Hey, what's wrong?
Hmm? Oh, it was something that happened on the way home. Real cold, prickly. You know, we might run out one day.
Hey, you're just in time. That food sure smells good. I've missed you two.
It's good to be here, Maggie.
Maggie, be careful.
What do you mean, Tim?
Well, I ran into someone today who warned me that if we give away too many warm fuzzies, we'll run out.
It's only a rumor, Tim.
You better save that for Nick, Alice.
Tim, old pal, what's gotten into you?
Well, don't you love Alice?
Of course I do. Why?
Now, if you go around giving out warm fuzzies, you won't have enough for Alice.
That could never happen.
Oh, yeah? Well, how do you know for sure?
Well, I don't know.
Here's your mail, Johnny. What? No warm fuzzies this morning?
No, I'm not allowed to give out so many, because then I won't have enough for home.
Oh, is that right?
That's what my father said, Mr. Geary.
Guess what I just heard? There might not be enough warm fuzzies to go around.
Mr. Geary said there aren't enough warm fuzzies to go around.
We're running out of warm fuzzies. It's a shortage.
We're in for hard times. Not enough warm fuzzies.
What's gonna happen?
Hey, step to the rear of the bus, huh?
And then suddenly after lunch, the teacher got mad at us and Billy punched me.
In class, people didn't get any warm fuzzies. They started getting headaches and feeling sick.
Thanks to your daddy's foresight, we'll always have enough warm fuzzies for the family and good friends.
The decrease in circulation of warm fuzzies continued today. A government survey shows that 47% fewer warm fuzzies circulated today as contrasted with the same period last week. No official dares predict when the shortage will end. In the meantime,
A dash of something sweet, but shivery. Something that's smooth, but stings. Ah, at last, the birth of the coated cold prickly. No, the first plastic fuzzy. Ha ha, they'll never know the difference.
In a cold, lonely world where love is at a premium, you can't afford to let yourself or your friends down. Give warm fuzzies.
Now we can be sure that we won't run out of fuzzies. Did you get the pills, Maggie?
Maggie!
Maggie!
Hey, long time no see.
We've really missed you and Maggie.
Oh, it's not that we haven't wanted to see you two.
It's just that we've been so busy.
Yes, there does seem to be more things to do lately. We all have so much work. When can we get together?
Hmm? Oh, we'll give you a ring.
Don't bother. We'll call you.
See you sometime.
It's a warm, fuzzy world, 'cause you're feeling good when you smile and say hello. It's a warm, fuzzy world, 'cause you're
Real fuzzy.
They feel different.
Like old times.
Let it flow.
Setting such an example. And in public.
We better stop this before it goes too far. Everyone has 3 minutes to disperse. 3 minutes. Hey, Maggie. I've been thinking of Nick and Alice.
So have I, Tim.
We used to be such good friends.
What's come over all of us?
Oh, they gave us plastic fuzzies.
But we did the same thing. Oh, Tim.
Our best friends.
Why didn't you give them warm fuzzies?
Hey, boy!
I'm all mixed up. Look at Bradford. He sure doesn't run out of warm fuzzies.
Maggie and I saw a woman giving out warm fuzzies in the park. Just like that.
What happened, Dad?
They arrested her.
That's crazy.
Oh, you can imagine what kind of society it would be if we ran out of warm fuzzies.
But I was there too, Dad. It was beautiful. No one ran out. In fact, the more we gave, the more we had.
That woman sure didn't seem bothered.
And look, Bradford just gives and gives and gives. I'll bet there's plenty to go around.
What are you saying?
I don't like living in a plastic fuzzy world. It doesn't feel good anymore. I want to show my love for you and everyone.
Lucy!
Lucy!
Hey, Lucy, wait for me!
Hello, please.
Oh, Senator, we've got to do something fast.
Woo! It's a warm fuzzy world, cause you're feeling good, where you smile and say hello. Oh, it's a warm fuzzy world, cause your life's so free, you can let your sunshine flow, let it flow. Oh, it's a warm fuzzy world, no matter who you are, or what you do, or where you live. Hey, it's a warm fuzzy world, you get lots of friends, and a whole lot of love to give. A warm fuzzy world, oh, a warm fuzzy world. Yeah, 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 a warm fuzzy world. Oh, warm fuzzy world. Warm fuzzy world.
I think Tom said it best in the comments that we are going through a warm fuzzy scarcity, or a fake warm fuzzy scarcity, and we need to be sharing warm fuzzies with our friends, our family, our cashiers, just in general. I have found personally that I love going grocery shopping. I love engaging with the cashiers, and I show them a little bit of friendliness, and they reciprocate every single time, even when they're exhausted. So, also people who work toll booths, I have done that as well, because man, they deal with a lot of people, and just a smile, and just say, hey, I hope you're having a good day, goes a long way. So there is no shortage of warm fuzzies. Do not believe what you read on social media. Do not buy plastic warm fuzzies. The real deal. All right. Speaking of warm fuzzies, or the antithesis of it, here's another film in that series on Knock and Notice, featuring police officers in the 1970s. Hopefully this will have another great character like the Informer, or the Trickeries one that I showed, I think last week or week before. Enjoy.
say, handsome?
It's this place, the apartment house over there, apartment 207 upstairs.
Now, you've been on a level with us before. Better be giving us straight to open this one.
Look, man, this Carter's well known. He does good work. I was over there just a couple of days ago. They had a whole pile of phony papers right out on the kitchen table. Passports, credit cards, licenses, anything you want, he's got it.
Bam, 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 bam. Harry, were you thinking like a what? Bam, 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 don't bam. To another apartment again. Ever. Bam, bam.
Look, Michael, give me the gun. Come on now, the move here made your mother very tired, okay? Here, read this comic book for a while, okay?
Hey, Mike, why don't we go down this way?
All right.
Please don't open up.
Stay where you are, kid. Where's your parents?
Jerry, somebody's busted in.
Police officers. Where's Carter?
Carter, there's no Carter here. What do you want?
You're under arrest, Carter.
What do you want? Look, my name's not.
Watch it, he's got a gun.
No, it's only Michael. No, no. Oh, God. What have you done? My God, what have you done? We just moved in here today. What happened, Carter? Oh, God. The gun wasn't even real. It wasn't even real.
My God, Roy. What have we done?
I'll call an ambulance.
Working robbery detail, eh, Thomas?
Yeah, the tip I got on that liquor store heist is Frank Gusty. I hear he may have a gun and I want some backup. Here's the address.
Okay, hop in.
Wow, you scared me.
Weren't you expecting us early?
Mm-mm. Were you able to get some steaks?
Oh, honey, at these prices. And you know, the meat didn't even look good.
Ah, too
Betty,
bad.
thanks a
Oh,
lot.
you're welcome. It's been so late.
Okay, dear.
Geez,
See
you're
ya.
really looking good these days, Betty.
Ray, watch out for him.
I will.
Police officer, lady. Frank Gusty in there?
Frank, he has a gun!
The tragic event you have just seen could probably have been avoided. It is not surprising that the common law has, from the earliest days in England, drastically limited the authority of the king's officers, and now police officers, to force entry into a private dwelling. The common law policy of knock and notice can be traced back to medieval times and has been codified in federal statutes as well as the majority of states. The rule typically provides that when police officers have reason to enter a dwelling to effect an arrest or execute a search warrant, they must first identify themselves as police officers, second, demand admittance, and third, explain their purpose. Only after their demand for admittance is refused, by action or inaction, may they forcibly enter.
Here it is, Tony.
Police officers, open up. We have a warrant for your arrest for burglary.
As one court said, few actions are as likely to evoke violent response from householders as unannounced entry by a person whose identity and purpose are unknown to them.
Yes, officer?
We have a warrant for the arrest of Roland Agnew.
Yeah, I'm Agnew. What's the problem?
You're under arrest. Put your hands up there. Spread your legs. Spread them.
The announcement rules are based on the individual's right to privacy and the policy of avoiding violent confrontations to minimize harm to officers and citizens. Any evidence seized in violation of the announcement rules may be held inadmissible. And if the occupant is not reasonably aware that the person breaking in is an officer because the officer did not announce himself, the occupant may have the right to resist, whether or not he has committed a crime. The previous episodes have dramatized the policy behind knock and notice statutes. The following vignettes will dramatize the law of knock and notice. Situations where the officers are excused from compliance with the knock and notice rules will be taken up in part 2 of the show entitled Excuse and Trickery.
Hey, what's happening? Did you get a hold of anything yet? Or is the heat still on? Listen, all I want is a couple of bags myself. Half a piece. It's a little out of my line tonight. How much is half? Half a piece. 250. Yeah, it's a little out of my line at this present time. Hey, listen, you couldn't give me a couple of balloons, huh? Yeah, I dig it, man. You don't want to bust it up. Hey, look, well, I got a friend. He might be interested in buying a half a piece. I don't know if you know him. A guy named Sonny. Yeah, he was looking for some stuff, but I don't know if he wants it or not. Yeah. Yeah, well, I'll have to go talk to him now. And remember, I just want a couple of bags for myself. Okay, I'll get back with you in a little while. You'll be home? Okay, I'll let you know what happens. We bought it. My deal with you guys better go through.
Don't worry. The DA's condition was that you produce, and you produced. Stanton sent some really bad stuff on the street.
Well, what's the plan? What'd he say?
Well, Stanton told him that he's got half an ounce. He'll get rid of it for 2.5. Kane says he has his friend Sonny that might want to buy. It went down just like we planned. Kane gets some money from Sonny to make the buy, then we move in.
Well, Kane's got to make contact with Stanton again before we go over there, right?
Yeah, we'll wait an hour. Then you call Stanton again. You tell him that Sonny's interested and that you will make the buy for him. We'll wait in the parking lot around the corner from Stanton's place. Jim, can you get the money right away?
Yeah, just tell me how much we'll need. I'll go get it now.
Okay, before you give him the money, don't forget to do a skin search.
Right.
Here it is.
What'd you see inside?
You just saw him and his old lady. She was smoking dope, that's about it. I mean, he had everything ready for me when I was there, so I don't know if there's anything else.
Anybody else inside?
Like I told you, man, I just saw him and his old lady. They're in the living room. I don't know if there's anybody else.
The majority of states, including California, require that officers knock, announce their identity, and state their purpose prior to forcing entry. But what if you face unusual circumstances? For instance, what would you do in the following situation?
What's going on? They've got to be in here. It's unlocked.
See anybody?
No, come on.
Are the officers required to comply with the knock and notice requirements even though the door is unlocked? Yes. The opening of a closed but unlocked door constitutes a breaking or a forced entry, and therefore officers are required to announce their identity and purpose before entering. Since the officers did not do so here, this entry is illegal. But let's change the circumstances.
See anything?
Nah.
Come on, open the screen door.
What if the door is open, but a screen door blocks the entry? Must the officers comply with the knock-and-notice rules even though they can see inside? Yes. The opening of a closed screen door is considered a forced entry. Officers must knock, identify themselves, and state the purpose for their presence.
We can't just walk in here. You know that. Hey, look, they just walked in the living room and sat down. Take a peek. Police officers, you're under arrest for the sales of narcotics.
Is this an illegal entry? No. Even though the officer opened the screen door before announcing their identity and purpose, their entry was nothing more than a technical breaking. This is because the occupants of the house were informed of the officer's identity and purpose while they were still at the door. The officers did not invade their privacy because a screen door alone does not suggest a desire for privacy. Neither was the risk of violence increased as to any party. What about this situation? Can the officers walk right in, or are they still required to knock and announce their identity and purpose before entering?
I don't hear anybody, do you?
No, let's go in. Maybe we can catch him in
Hey,
here.
wait a second, man. We just can't go trotting in. We gotta knock first.
Why not?
Must the officers comply with the knock and announcement rules? Even though the officers would not be committing a breaking by walking through the open door according to the common law, this unannounced entry would be illegal today in California and many other states. Remember, these rules were designed to preserve privacy and prevent violent confrontations. The potential for violence here would be the same, whether the police entered unannounced through an open or through a closed door. Now another variation.
How do you want to handle this?
No problem. I've already talked to the landlord of this place. He gave me a key. He said we can go right on in.
May the officers enter unannounced through the use of a pass key? No. A non-consensual entry by means of a pass key is a forced entry within the meaning of the announcement rules. Therefore, officers must knock and announce their presence and purpose prior to such a breaking.
Open up, police officers. We're here to make an arrest for narcotic sales. Open up.
Maybe he's not inside. Maybe he's not home.
He's got to be. King just left him. I'll try the door.
Have the officers complied with the entry requirements now? Yes. They knocked, announced their identity as police officers and their purpose for seeking entry, to make an arrest for narcotic sales. If an officer complies with the announcement rules but receives no response after waiting for a reasonable time, he may then generally force entry to make his arrest or execute his search warrant. However, in order to justify forcing entry to make an arrest, the officer must have a reasonable belief that the suspect is present. He must be able to point to specific facts which indicate this. The officers here did have a reasonable belief that the man they came to arrest was within the house, since a narcotics transaction between the suspect and the informant had just taken place inside the house. The knock and announcement rules apply to outer doors and windows of a dwelling. Do they apply to inner doors as well? Yes. Recent cases in California suggest that officers must knock and announce their identity and purpose before forcing entry into any outer or inner door. The expectation of privacy, the courts say, and the prospect of violence are equally great for an outer or inner door.
Stay put, you're under arrest.
Since the officers entered after the woman opened the door, was their entry lawful? No. The officers could not reasonably assume that by opening the door slightly and asking, "Who is it?" the woman thereby gave them consent to enter. While the officers did knock, they failed to announce their authority. Such an announcement is still required even though the officers are in uniform. The courts have held that the mere fact that officers are wearing police uniforms is not enough to provide the occupants of the house with notice of their authority. Finally, the officers did not state their purpose for demanding entry. Consider the next case.
Come on in, the door's open.
Well, you heard the lady.
May the officers enter the house without announcing their authority and purpose? Yes. By being told to come in after knocking, they were given consent to enter. Because they have consent, the knock and announcement rules do not apply. A consensual entry cannot be considered an invasion of privacy. There's still one more area we should mention, but let's review the facts of our situation first. Kane, an informant working with the police, arranged to buy some heroin from a man by the name of Stanton. The officer supplied Kane with the purchase money and waited for him around the corner from Stanton's house. When Kane returned with the heroin, the officers went to Stanton's house to arrest him.
Police officers, open up! Open up, police officers! You're gonna have to kick it, Roy. It's locked. Get your hands up on your head.
Okay, fully up.
The officers did not fully comply with the knock and announcement rules before deciding to force entry into the house because they did not explain their purpose. Does that make their entry illegal? It depends. If officers knock and announce their authority as policemen, and if the circumstances explain their presence, a forced entry without a statement as to purpose may nevertheless be lawful. Here, the officer knocked, announced their authority by stating police officers, but failed to state their purpose. However, was the purpose for their presence obvious? The courts say that where an offense has just occurred inside a dwelling, for example, a narcotics transaction, the occupants are reasonably expected to know the purpose of a police visit. In this case, therefore, the officer's forced entry was lawful. Before forcing entry to make an arrest or execute a search warrant, officers must first demand admittance, identify themselves as police officers, and explain the purpose for demanding admittance. Even if officers comply with these rules and receive no response, they may not force entry to make an arrest unless they reasonably believe that the person to be arrested is inside. These rules apply even if the door is unlocked, open, or the officers have a pass key. Inner doors as well as outer doors also come under the announcement rules. If the occupant consents to the officer's entry after they knock, officers need not comply with these rules. However, consent to enter cannot be given in advance by someone not in the dwelling at the time entry is desired. But note, it is doubtful whether a trespasser in a house would be protected by knock and notice statutes if an absent householder gave police his consent to enter the house. If officers only knock and announce their authority without explaining their purpose, is a subsequent forced entry lawful? Yes, but only if the occupants are reasonably expected to know the purpose of the police visit. Finally, officers should note that the knock and notice rules must be followed, even where the person to be arrested or served is a probationer or parolee.
So what if she said, come in, the door's open, unless you are police officers? That seems to cover it, right? There's so many, like, what if we go through the dog door? Like, what? Oh boy, complex. Talking about police officers and talking about civil justice. I'm very pro civil justice, but I'm also pro police officers if they follow the rules and they don't. Yeah, I mean, most of us are that way. So I think it's complex, but anyways, I'm gonna not talk about it anymore. We'll talk about fuzzy tails. Yeah, thank you for your warm fuzzies today, and hopefully you got some warm fuzzies. We love showing you films, and we've been uploading a new film every hour, 24/7, and we'll hope to do so until we get to 10,000 films. Right now we are at 8,700, and I don't know, pretty soon we'll get to 9,000. We're also very close to getting 150,000 subscribers, which is, all these numbers, what do they mean? It doesn't matter. It's all about the warm fuzzies, and not the plastic ones, the real ones. So thank you for tuning in. If you like what you saw, hit the thumbs up. You can donate via the Super Thanks button, or go to ko-fi.com/avgeeks, or patreon.com/avgeeks. Those are ways to help pay for our rentals, for all our storage units that we have with all of our films. And a lot of those films that I showed that were from the Methodist Church library were ones that are from our collection that I scanned last night. So we're trying to, I go to the storage unit, I try to pick up some films, I try to scan them. Unfortunately, we can't do them live because the scanner we're using doesn't support that. But so we're seeing new stuff, and that makes me super happy. Anyhow, have a great rest of your Tuesday, and we will see you tomorrow. Everybody take care.